card video for you today. I'm going to try to do a card video every week, and I'm just going to ask you to bear with me as I figure out my camera and how I have to set things up. I'm going to use this stamped image from INKED Stamps. This is the inked subscription for July. It is, and I'm going to color it up. So when it comes to coloring, I am such a novice, it's not even funny. My favorite coloring of choice is Tombow dual brush pens because I took a class learning how to color using them in Arizona in January, and so I'm kind of really comfortable with them, and so that's what I'm going to use. If you have questions about colors or numbers or anything, leave a comment below. I'm not a pro at this. I'm really not. I am really, and I'm not a pro at my camera, as you can see, because I'm like pulling this out of frame and putting it back in, and it's just, give me some time. It's almost like when you restart over on YouTube. This is like my second process video. But I wanted to put some of my coloring in here, just so you could kind of see what I do. I do a little shadowing, I do just a little bit of different things. And again, I am so not a pro at this. So not a pro. I've taken 2 classes and I've been working on my coloring skills since, January. So yeah, no. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to color her up. And people are hard, you guys. Like, people are like the hardest things to color. I don't even know. I'm going to take these 2 shades of brown because I want to give her some brown hair, and you'll notice here that I am only coloring her face, like her skin tone and her hair color. The rest of it we are not going to color. There's a reason for that, and you'll see as we go along with our card video. So I left the coloring in this video. If you would rather I not leave the coloring in the video, just let me know. And of course, I am totally 100% aware that I pulled the card out of the frame a whole bunch of times. But I will get better at that. I will get better at that, I promise. It's just, card making videos for me are kind of a work in progress. And like I said, this is only like my second one I've posted on my channel, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I am using 2 shades of brown, and what I did was I took the darker brown and I went through and hit up all the lines for her hair, and then I'm taking a lighter shade of brown. I put it on my blending palette, and then I'm using the blender pen, and what that's going to do is it's going to blend out that darker brown into the lighter brown so that those lines aren't going to be quite so sharp. They're going to look more like a highlight than anything else. So I'm just going to go through, and I'm using the blender pen with that brown. I'm going to go ahead and I really like my Tombow dual brush pens. I have in the past used Copics in different colors and stuff, but these are the ones that feel comfortable in my hand. These are the ones that really, starting to use them and feeling comfortable with them really made me embrace coloring stamps and coloring things. So I think it just depends on what works for you. And eventually I will have all 96 colors of the Tombow pens, I'm determined. Okay, so next step, I think I'm messing with my camera right now. Let's take this part out. So I decided to add some color using my pens to the laundry basket, and you see that Urban Luxe 6x6 paper pad off to the side. We are going to use that paper pad, so I really want to be able to match up the colors that are in that paper pad. This was actually, I think, one of the last collections that Basic Gray came out with before they closed their doors, which makes me sad. So what I'm doing is I'm just coloring in some of the laundry, but I'm not going to color the top of the laundry. And you'll see what we're going to do with those in a minute. So what I have is, I have my Tombow brushes put together by color families, and then each color family has its own blender pen. And I find that that works the best for me. And I have a little like pen stand, I guess, there that has them all in. So now I'm going to go through the papers. And what I'm looking for is a couple of patterns that I really like. I want small patterns, nothing too big. I want to be able to cut those small patterns into tiny shapes, and for you to still be able to kind of see that they are a pattern. So I'm counting how many open areas I have on my stamp. So I'm just going to choose all my papers now. And I went ahead and pulled my camera out because it just worked better. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do now. I am going to paper piece all of these different elements of this girl. So this is super easy. I'm using some brand new ink, new to me ink, which is my favorite thing is Extreme Black ink. I won a gift certificate to their shop and I bought just a couple of things. I tried their inks and I bought some stencils. So I bought a few things to try, and one of them was this Extreme Black Hybrid ink. So I am just going to paper piece, which means I don't need my stamping platform. I just need an acrylic block, and I just need enough of the portion of the stamp that I want to cut out that I can fussy cut it. And then it's going to fit right over. This is, yes, a little tedious, but I think that the results are totally worth it. It's like fussy cutting on a layout or hand stitching on a layout, like totally worth it. Also, I have no clue why I didn't put something underneath this paper here and why I felt like it was okay for me to just stamp straight on my table. Good news, it came out, but yeah, I don't know. I don't even think I was paying much attention to that. So that was my grandfather's hand, in case you were wondering. So I'm just going to continue to go ahead with all these little pieces of the stamp, kind of just fussy cutting and getting all these little pieces of her outfit onto the stamp. And for her little shirt, I actually cut the shirt paper into two separate pieces so that I can fit them in nice and tightly against her arm. And there we go. So now we have our fun little paper piece girl. She's got her laundry and all that pattern, and I love how that looks. I think I like, when you're dealing with clothes and stuff, I really think I like the look of a pattern. And being able to use some of those pattern papers than coloring in with the stamps. Well, that would just be my personal preference, and that's not how I feel about different things like flowers, but for some reason when it comes to girls and clothes, I want the clothes to have pattern. So I'm going to go ahead, clean up my stamp and put it down, and I'm going to add some lips to her. So I didn't want to give her the look of being, I mean, she's folding laundry, so I didn't want to like make her up and make her look like, you know, she's all dolled up for laundry, right? Just laundry. So I went with just a very open, kind of plain mouth. I'm going to go in with a teeny tiny little bit of pink over her lips just to give them just a little bit of definition from the rest of her face, but nothing too severe. I really didn't want her to look like she was like full-on made up, right? And so now I'm going to cut this paper down. So this paper is heavy cardstock. This is Basil Marshmallow cardstock, and I really only stamp on two types of paper. I will stamp on Basil Marshmallow cardstock, or I will stamp on fluid hot press watercolor paper, which is a heavy duty watercolor paper, and I think that those make the very best impressions. So I'm going to decide what I want to use to back this girl up on the card, and I'm going to go with black. I just decided that that was, you know, it was going to make it really contrasty and fun, and I liked that idea. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some oxide inks. So this is Seedless Preserve and Worn Lipstick. And I decided to go ahead and use my sponge instead of my stencil brushes today. I used my stencil brushes on another layout on another card video I did last week, because I don't mind the circly look on this particular card. And so I'm just going to blend. I'm going to blend a ton. I'm going to blend out, really, really, really blend out the worn lipstick and the Seedless Preserves until I have a really nice blend all around my girl. I'm going to leave some of her white. Of course, I'm not going to blend into the entire background, just around the edges, just to give some color all the way around the middle, or all the way around the edges of my card. And so you just want to blend and blend and blend and blend and blend until you like how it looks. And the more you blend, don't, if you're not liking what you're creating, just keep blending. Like, just keep running it over. So the next part of this is going to be my sentiment. So I wanted to make this a card I could really kind of send to somebody. The sentiments that came with the Inked Girl are really cute, and I definitely am going to use them like in a traveler's notebook spread or something, because laundry is like ugh in my house. But for this particular card, I wanted to be able to send it to someone. So I grabbed a stamp set from Altenew that I really like, and it's a really nice thank you stamp. And I'm going to stamp "Thanks for your help," because I figured if someone one thing that someone can do for you to help you is to do your laundry. Am I right? You know it's true. If someone came to your house and started doing and folding your laundry, you would just be like, happy dance. And so I thought that that would make a cute sentiment to pair with this girl folding the laundry. So I wanted to add a little bit of bling to this layout, and I just received my brand new Spiegel Mom Scraps sequins, and there was this gorgeous mix. It's called Grape Juice, and it just worked. It was so pretty. It just gave the perfect little contrast and little sparkle to this card. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a sprinkle of sequins, a sprinkle of these fun little grape juice sequins, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue them on with my fine line bottle with the tacky glue. I have been breaking fine line bottles recently. I don't know why. I keep breaking the needles off the top of them. So when I needed glue this past time, I started using the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, so I'll have to tell you how I think about that. So I have that to try, because I don't know, you guys, I just keep breaking the needles off the top of the fine line bottles, and they're not cheap to replace. I wish they were cheap to replace, but they're really not. So I'm just pushing these sequins down into the glue, make sure I have a nice, good adherence here. And then I'm going to grab a card base. So I have been cutting card bases and envelopes in my downtime or when I have scraps, and that makes the card making process way easier for me, is to have those card bases ready to go. I still haven't sold myself on the idea of buying them. I don't know, I can make them. That's why I have an envelope punch board. So I'm just going to adhere the black cardstock, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere my little lady to the card. I'm going to fiddle with this for a while because I wanted it to be straight, and I knew I had measured it straight, and I knew it should be straight, and I knew it was just my crooked eye messing it up. Because I still have not found my T-square ruler. Ugh. Kids, I tell you. I decided I wanted just a little something more on this card, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just give it some black splatter. This is Shimmer's Vibes in Night Moves, which is a lovely black splatter. And then we're going to call this card done. Thank you so much for joining me today for this card making video. I'd love to know what you think about my card making videos. I know I need to figure out the camera part of it, but we'll get there. We'll get there, guys. Have a fabulous day, and I'll see you all again soon.